Momentum and Serato Sample. I've been asked the question, what do you think one versus the other? So I said, why not just make a video about it? And yeah, let's just get right into it. I have a sample here, a drum sample I'm gonna start with, and this is taken from JFILT Loops 2. So this is it. I want to make a beat with this, right? Just a 4-bar loop. All right. So that's that. I want to use that somehow. Don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but let's talk about the difference. But let's start with Serato Sample. And what I like about Serato Sample is the update. As you can see, you have a total of 32 chops you can do versus the 16 before. So with the update, you have that. That's, to me, that's the main update. So anyway, that's what I care about. Update. I'm gonna use another loop actually from JFILT Loops. We're gonna bring in this loop, and I'm gonna use the same loop for both programs, okay? So we're gonna do one thing at a time. Let's start with the chopping. I'm chopping. All right, so I just chopped it. As you can see, that was pretty quick, right? Now let's go ahead and go to momentum, and we're going to take that same loop. It's called Simon Says. This is off of JFILT Loops 2.0. Okay, this might be one issue where I like Serato Sample better. Mixer. Let's do this. I'll do it there. Okay, I think you have to be in the mixer page for the sample to drag in. But what if I was just on the slice page? It shouldn't even matter. So anyway, all right, so on momentum, when I drag in the sample, it already has my chops for me. But look, obviously there's more than 16 chops. So that's one difference. That's a major difference. So in momentum, oh, by the way, I need to stress this. Momentum is totally free. Again, totally free. Serato Sample, you have to pay. It's a price, but you can try it for free, so you can get it in, try it, and see what you like. Oh yeah, and you can shrink too, by the way. Zoom in. Here's the zoom in differences. So that's good. Now let's go back to Serato Sample. You can do the same thing. You can, zoom in. So if I want to get rid of all the chops that they do, I would have to select, right, like that, and delete. So that can get a little time bearing right there, because it does it for you. But what if you just wanted a blank slate? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a blank slate to start out with. That's a big difference right there. When you first drag in the sample, momentum actually chops it up for you. But what if you don't want that? You have to kind of delete, and that takes some time or whatever. Okay, so now let's say you want to do your own chops. That's cool. All you have to do, let's go back. Let's see. You just double click on, the chops that you want. Like that. See what I'm doing? Now let's talk about adjusting the chops for Serato Sample. Let's go back. Serato Sample. Now I can zoom in and just change, like that. Just use your mouse. And to me, I think it's a little easier on Serato Sample. That's just my opinion. To me, it's just like, I think it's a little easier. Okay, now let's talk about effects. You can actually reverse. This is just one type of effect, and it's not really many. Here are the parameters. As you can see, you got your level, volume, your filter, your attack, and release. So let's say this sample right here, you want that to be reverse. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? Or change the attack of it, or even filter it. And you can do that for any of these chops, right? And you can even do all of them. Let's go back. VSTs. That's dope. Or you could even, you know, select all of them down here. Select all. Boom. And whatever you do, it changes all of them. So let's say we want to reverse everything. That's pretty much it for the effects. Now let's go back. Here is where, to me, momentum triumphs over Serato Sample. Because these effects, look how many you have. You have way more. So I will tap on this button right here, effects. And then down here are your parameters. You have volume, pitch, reverse, stutter, filter, lo-fi, delay, reverb, and even more than that, because if I tap, like, let's say this button right here, where the little 3 dots are, for any of them, I have more choices. So let's go right here. Pitch, let's go volume, right? Look at this. You have more choices. So I could add in a phaser if I wanted to. Let's do that. Phaser. Now, you see what that sounds like. But you have to turn the volume up for the effect. So you do that by just dragging your mouse. Right? Let's say you wanted to throw that in reverse. Just click on the parameter and then turn the volume up for it. Right? Now let's say you wanted to do all of them, so you just reverse and just drag, take your mouse and just whoop, like that. Let me see. There you go. Do this one too. So that's dope. Or you wanted to add a stutter, you know, make sure you have the volume up for it. Boom, 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 or whatever. So you got way more choices. Crazy, right? Just tons of stuff. You know, just play with it. All right. Pause. All right. Okay, so let's clear that out for now. All right, so now let's talk about pitch. And to me, I think pitch is pretty much equal, in my opinion. Pitch is equal with both of them. Let's talk about pitch for momentum first. So say you wanted to transpose, actually, let's go up here where it says key, right? You can hit this. Let me see. See? I just transpose everything. F sharp. Right? So that's pretty easy. So now let's go back and let's transpose everything on here. Look at this. Key. Knows everything. Select all, right? So, you know, same thing. I can transpose everything. Or I can transpose each thing individually. I can if I want to. All right. So that's another thing. Now let's talk about, and which is to me maybe one of the most important aspects for Serato Sample, in my opinion, and that is time stretch. Time stretch is so key. Say that's too fast for you, right? I can time stretch that and slow it down. Just drag it. Crazy. And it does not lose any type of quality. It's still dope. So that's a feature that I really love about Serato Sample. Unfortunately, unless I'm mistaken, you cannot do that on momentum. I mean, you have this little stretch thing, but see what that does, that just that really just connects all of your chops together versus it being choppy. So that's all that does. So if I put it on beat, let me put it off of one shot so you can hear what I'm talking about. Let me put it on loop. See how it's stopping? But if I hit stretch, it kind of connects all those chops. It's still on reverse too, so maybe I should turn that off so you can hear the difference. So that's what stretch does. Put it on beat. You hear how it stops in between the chops? Stretch. It stretches all the chops in between those cutoff points. So that's what that is. But I can't really, unless I'm mistaken, I don't see it. So that's a huge difference right there. All right. Huge difference right there. All right. Let me turn that back on because I like that effect. One more thing. Another thing I love about Serato Sample is the fact that you can use this keyboard mode right here, down here. You hit that, it changes a single key into all the keys and maps them across your keyboard. So that's great for creating like your own sound, you know, across your own instrument. Crazy, I love that. Now, I don't know if Momentum allows that or can do that, unless I just haven't learned it yet. Which case, I think if you can do it, I just haven't learned it yet. But someone please write down in the comments below how to do it if you can. I know you have your pitch down here and everything, but pitch. But I can't, it's nowhere where I can see you put it in, you know, where you can put it in like a keyboard mode. That's a huge difference. I would have to use my mouse and literally, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. So let me turn that off, just clear that out. But I really do love the effects. I love the effects. It's more effects on Momentum, and Choppin is cool, but as you can see, it's definitely differences. Well, let's just make a beat for both of them. Let's do Serato Sample first. Oh, that's another thing. A common thing is it can line up with whatever your BPM is for your DAW, so that's cool. That's for both of them. All right. Okay, so I could hear that the drum loop actually has like a bass tone in it. So I'm gonna match that. Is that? I'm still in keyboard mode. Ooh. So let me get out of this. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use keyboard mode because I'm hearing something. I'm gonna time stretch it. See that? See? So that's cool. Now let's mute that, and then let's go to Momentum and see what we could create. But see, I'm gonna mess with some more effects. So I'm gonna just how about we maybe some delay on some things. Interesting. What if I wanted to add just a little bit of stutter? All right, let's give that a shot. I want to change the pitch. Let's go. Okay, so that was made with momentum, and then here's the beat from Serato Sample. Same, I'm using the same exact loop for both beats. All right, Serato Sample. Serato Sample, momentum, one more time. See, I just added like some phasers on there. So yeah, man, there you have it. That's my little battle between momentum and Serato Sample for the question that was asked about this. So yeah, man, you tell me what you think. Once again, momentum is totally free. You don't have to buy anything, and you get the full. And I need to say this as well. With momentum, you can use like the store. You know, they have a store where you can use samples that they provide for you, but you would have to pay, and also you have to be online. So it won't work if you're not online. But if you just want to use your own samples from your computer, I don't think you have to be online. So that's cool. All right. And Serato Sample, you do have to pay. It's I forget what the price is. I'll leave a link for both. And but you can try it for free. And I love try before you buy. I love that. You know what I'm saying? So I love the update on Serato Sample. I really love it. Between the two right now, I mean, I think both have their little, you know, pros and cons. But for me right now, I think I'm going to give Serato Sample the slight edge because for what I do. The slight, I really love that time stretch. That time stretch is crucial, man. And I also love the keyboard mode. So those two features for me put this on top. That's just me personally. Momentum, I love the effects on it. There's many more effects that you can use on momentum, so I really love it for that purpose. But for me, again, I'm gonna give the edge to Serato Sample. That's just my opinion, but I just wanted to show this battle between Serato Sample and momentum. There you have it. Any questions, let me know in the comments below. Just let me know what you think.